Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Another episode of Dion's Daily Dose. Got started just a hair late. For some reason, the app that I was using in order to use my phone crashed right before I went live, but we got it sorted. So here we are. So big news on the General Flynn front. Love it. Absolutely love it. All charges were finally dropped against General Flynn. I'm sure you guys have seen it, but just in case, I will give you a link to it so you can read up. Again, I thought I wanted to have this ready, but I got some really crazy stuff going on tonight that I want to share with all of you. I didn't have a chance to get it all done, but there's multiple sources, right? You got the AP, you got Fox News, WAPO, everything is reporting. I'm just going to put AP up here since it's the first one that popped up. But as we all know, General Flynn is finally getting his name cleared. They dropped the charges. All the documents are getting released. We're finding that everything that went into SpyGate is coming out. Big news. Schiff actually, the dog's acting crazy. Adam Schiff actually released all of the transcripts for this whole investigation here. I'm going to share the screen. It might lag a little bit. I'm still working on that. I am trying to get it to where it works a little better, but it's a work in progress. I do have, I think, a much better microphone that a friend of mine brought over. So the sound should be significantly cleaner. There are two things specifically that I want to show you guys tonight. The first is the transcripts. I have not had time to read them, but here is the link. I highly recommend, when you get a little time, to go in and take a look at everything that is here, right? United States intelligence community, I see, at the bipartisan request of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, HPSCI, reviewed 53 transcripts for classification. The IC made appropriate redactions, lowering the classification level of all 53 transcripts to unclassified. Each transcript can be accessed by clicking on the names below. Look at all this. Look at all this. It's the transcripts, right, from all the interviews that they had. They got all of them. Well, not all, but a whole lot of them, right? They got Clapper, they got Kushner, they got Sessions, Podesta. There's so much here. There's no way. Like I said, I just got it right before I went live. So there's no way I could get into it. And punctuality is really important to me as a truck driver for many years, and a 100% on time rating. Punctuality matters. So take a look at this, but this isn't even the biggest thing to me tonight. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is my Twitter. I ran across this video this person put out. I'm gonna make this full screen so you can see my tweet This is extremely concerning. It's a contract tracer army that has the authority to remove people from their homes whose only crime is having a single bathroom. Right? What? Now I'm going to try to see if I can get the audio picked up on this. If not, you guys, I'll give you the link to this tweet. Check it out. This video is very, very disturbing. This Del Bigtree, right, who is the host of Highwire, says, what would you do if your 6-year-old son or daughter tested positive for COVID and was taken from your home to a quarantine center by Ventura Health authorities? This shocking video demands that you plan ahead. Now, I'm gonna do this the best I can. I'm gonna try to rotate this microphone and see. Actually, you know what? I have a better idea. Hold on, give me just 1 second, and I'm gonna see if I can set this up so that you can hear what this video says, because, oh my goodness. Let's see, there it is. Let's turn up the gain on that microphone. And all right, I'm going to play it for like 5 seconds. Can you guys do me a favor and let me know if you hear the audio? If not, I'm going to work on a couple of things. Let me know if you hear the audio from this video, please. I wasn't able to get everything set up on time, but this is nuts.
We are beginning a program today, which will certainly grow into something larger and larger. And
okay, I'm going to wait for you guys. Let me know. Did you hear the audio from that? I know that there's a delay. Give people a second to let me know. Okay, excellent. Okay. Really pay attention, because they're going to be taking people from their homes to quarantine them.
that is a community contact tracing program. We've done contact tracing all along. That a contact is a person who's been exposed to someone that we document to have the COVID infection. When we find someone who has a COVID infection, those people are immediately isolated. But we also work with them to figure out who their contacts were. But the purpose of this program is to bring on people. We may bring on up to 50 or even more as the program grows and as we see the needs for it. As we do more testing, we will find more and more people who have COVID-19. And again, we'll isolate every one of them, and we will find every one of their contacts, and we will make sure that they stay quarantined, and we'll check in with them every day. We're going to do a more complete job, and we're going to do a more meticulous job of making it less and less possible for others in the county to run into someone with COVID-19 infection. It's not just our county. There are going to be thousands of people hired who will be these contact investigators through the state. And this is occurring in many, many other states as well, perhaps all the states in our country. We will be giving intensive training to these people, identifying and finding contacts. Some of the people we find are going to have trouble being isolated. For instance, if they live in a home where there's only one bathroom and there are 3 or 4 other people living there, and those people don't have COVID infection, we're not going to be able to keep the person in that home. Every person who we're isolating, for instance, needs to have their own bathroom. And so we'll be moving people like this into other kinds of housing that we have available.
Yeah. What? Seriously? Hold on, let me get, there we go. Hold on. Reduce the other mic. So we have a group of people, right, called contact tracers that apparently are going to have the authority, or at least let people know where people are so that they can remove them from their homes for, of course, their safety, right? For their safety. Because one bathroom apparently isn't enough. It's all a pretense. Look, I'm not sitting around with a tinfoil hat on and, thinking that every single thing is a conspiracy. But look, man, like Dave said, Germany in the 1930s, when you have a group of people that are able to remove a child or even an adult from their home for isolation purposes, that harkens back to the United States during World War II. It harkens back to, like Dave said, Germany in the 1930s. It's scary. To me, it is very, very scary. I would like to see people stand up and demand that enough is enough. We have tangible, realistic numbers now, right? That show from USC, from other places, that this virus is not as deadly as it was projected. We even have Fauci admitting that the computer models that they use don't add. Reality never reaches the models anyway. So these people that have wanted the models that have projected, that's what I should say, the models that have projected millions, right, were wrong. We see that now. It's a tiny fraction of what we had. This, we're talking about a massive, overblown response to something. What? Taking people from their homes? Are you kidding me? Like, this is very, very disturbing to me. I can't emphasize it enough. I saw that video. I just saw it. I didn't get a chance to do much. I was in the middle of doing a bunch of different things. So I retweeted it, and I wanted to show each and every one of you this, because it's in Ventura County, California right now. But we've shown before the video of Clinton and who was it? Who was the other guy? It was Newsom. Clinton and Newsom talking about creating a contact tracer army. This is what they want it for. This is their purpose. It's very, very scary. It is. Dave said, and yeah, California should, of all states, California should know better. They really should. That's right. That's right, Paul. You're absolutely correct. 3%ers, because how long are we really? Look, I'm going to speak to the people that follow the message boards, the pages that are always like, trust the plan, trust the plan. The plan has gone very well. I will say that. We are exposing, we are learning, we are seeing what these people are really capable of and what they really want for us. But I do believe that it is our responsibility as Americans to take action. At the very minimum, we need to be calling and writing our congressmen. We need to be calling and writing the White House. We need to be demanding that violations of privacy like this, I mean, it's all coming together, right? You've got Google and Apple working together to create contact tracing software in order to share your location, to show who you've come in contact with. We've got people. I don't even know who these people were. I haven't had time to look into it. I just know it was a press conference in Ventura County, California, admitting the director of health and what? Human service? The director of health for Ventura County. See, my rock, my life, always on it. They're announcing their intentions. They're telling you what they're going to do. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. There's something else that I want to show you if I can get to it. Give me just a moment. So in the meantime, I cannot wait for all this stuff to finally come out into the open so that all of these people, the left, yeah, Chris said, Liz for the save. Absolutely. She is, I tell you, realistically, honestly, there's no way I could do this without her. There's no way I could run for office. There's no way that I could, get elected without her. She is absolutely one of the best things that have ever happened to me. So, yeah, and so modest. I don't know if you can hear her. She's, yeah, Mother's Day is Sunday. Remember that, all of you fathers and sons out there, daughters. Mother's Day is Sunday. That is your opportunity. So I want to show you guys this. Look, the key to this is I want you to really look at the dedicated attempt to control information. That's all I want you to think about, right? Whether you agree or disagree with the tenets of this, whether you agree or disagree that it's something positive or negative. Oh yeah, Chris pointed out, remember, she's not your mom. That's right. My mom is deceased. But since she's the mother of, but she definitely is someone's mom. As the mother of my children, I am absolutely obligated to spoil her on my. The oldest is getting her nuggets. So, yeah. So I want to show you this, and regardless of how you feel about the Q movement, QAnon, all that stuff, if you think it's, purposeful disinformation, if you think it's a bunch of whack jobs, if you think it's a controlled information drop from those in the know, it doesn't really matter because free speech. So Facebook has done an over-the-top job of targeting all of these accounts, right? This is post after post, news story after news story, right? Of what we see here. Facebook removes QAnon pages, groups, and accounts. Coronavirus fake news. Facebook removes pseudoscience category for advertisers. Facebook removes some QAnon pages citing inauthentic behavior. Inauthentic behavior? What does that even mean? Facebook removes misinformation networks. Facebook removes accounts linked to. These are people Facebook put in charge of deciding whether or not to delete controversial posts, which, speaking of, I don't know if you guys have seen this. Have you seen this Facebook advisory board, the oversight board, the so-called Supreme Court of Facebook? Have you guys seen how packed with lefties this thing is? It blows my mind. They could not have picked a more skewed group of people if they had tried for just that. Like, seriously, look at here, I'm going to bring it up. Look at the names of the people that are on this board, right? Oops. Put that back up. Facebook, I think it's called the Oversight Board. Yeah, there it is. Facebook Oversight Board members, right? Look at the people on this, right? Every single one of them is blatantly left. Every single one, right? I'll give you the link in case you haven't seen it, but there we go. There you go. Yeah. So to think that they're going to be even remotely fair is ridiculous. Look at all this, guys. Like, here's my question. Okay. If the idea is simply behind, removing so-called fake news, right? They want the truth out there. They don't want people sharing false information, because that's what they say. That's what it's about. If that was the case, then shouldn't CBS be banned from Facebook? Shouldn't CBS have their entire account removed? Because they have shown us fake news multiple times. They have used video from an Italian hospital twice, not once. Once they got called on it. They said, oh, it was an editing error, an editing mistake. But we will not do that again. So they did it again. And then Project Veritas, right, reports that CBS News staged the whole thing with the testing center.
CBS now said that they had one producer who they didn't know.
Oh, now they're admitting that the producer did it?
And it wasn't their plan. The producer just got in line.
So I don't,
didn't know the producer was going to be there.
Okay, so I don't know if you can hear Liz in the background. She's saying that CBS has now come out and said that, oh, well, we did have a producer who went rogue. We knew nothing about it. Look, I will take Project Veritas over CBS's BS any day of the week. Veritas has a 100% non-retraction record. They have not had to retract a single thing. I'll take Veritas. That's where my money is. So Dave says we need an overhaul of the FCC. We do indeed. I think we need an internet bill of rights. I think we need something put in place to ensure that companies like Facebook, like Twitter, like YouTube, Google, that they either are a platform or a publisher, right? Right now, they enjoy the benefits of both. They're able to do whatever they want. So, look, it just comes down to why these people are allowed to determine what you see, what I see, what shows up on my page. If I want to learn more about a particular subject, I should be able to. And if it's about conspiracy theories, if that's what it's all about, then they're not taking down things related to Bigfoot or UFOs or Area 51 or any of these other so-called conspiracy theories, right? It only seems to be focused on the QAnon movement. Now, I happen to personally think that a lot of good information has come out from that. I think that, here, let me put that back up there. I think a lot of people have been able to wake up to a lot of the corruption because of the QAnon posts, the drops, as they're called. I have learned so much, so much since starting it, or since starting to pay attention to what was being dropped there. Let me see if I can find the one from here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the one that I saw. The article that I read. I don't see it right now. Okay. Anyway, it's on I know that I put it out there on my social media at some point. I don't remember which one. I think I put it on Facebook. Here's the point. They are obviously biased. There are there are never Trumpers in it. There are extreme lefties in it. I couldn't find a single person that was pro-Trump on this board. Not one. Now, we know just from the polls that they give us, right, that at least half the country is pro-Trump. It may be higher than that. I mean, they also said, Hillary had a 90+% chance to win. So, I don't tend to take too much stock in these polls. Walter. Hi, Walter. Thanks for joining us. I'm giddy though about Flynn, about finally finally these charges are gone and we can see the domino effect, because I'm really hoping that he goes after the people that did this to him. It's I don't know, because look, I've been involved in the criminal justice system, both sides of the bars. I know the way it works. When they tell you, oh, you're going to plead guilty, right? You have a limited number of options. Remember, too, that I looked at the story, and his legal bills are millions of dollars. I think he has like $5.4 million outstanding legal bill. Can you even imagine that? Right now, this Flynn was a patriot. He was high level in the government for a time. He made good money, right? He sold his townhouse for just shy of $1 million, 800 and something $1,000. So he had some money, right? But the average American, the average person, can you imagine what a $5 million legal bill would look like? There's no way we could defend ourselves against something like that. At that kind of rate, that kind of charge, there's no way. I'll never see $5 million in my lifetime, right? So how is the average person supposed to defend against stuff like that? You can't. That's why the system is set up the way that it is. People are charged with a multitude of crimes. Now, look, let me be very, very clear. I support law enforcement. I am former law enforcement, even though I was the redheaded stepchild of law enforcement as a correctional officer. But I know that the system is damaged. I know that we need real change in our criminal justice system. And I know some ways to go about addressing it. So, yeah, Walter says he knows payback's a B. Yes, indeed. And you know what would be amazing? I think it was Dave posted on the post about it, that make him the head of the FBI, right? First of all, get rid of Ray. Why is he even still there? I don't know. You know what? We're gonna talk about that just really quickly, because it pertains to this. And Dave also said he went broke, and that needs to be addressed. Absolutely. Because look, when the charges are dropped, right, and we have tons of memos, right, that are out there that prove that General Flynn was targeted by the FBI to get him fired or to lie, right? He needs to be made whole. That's the whole system. That's how it's supposed to work. If you are targeted and you are innocent, right? And I firmly believe that General Flynn is a hero, a patriot, and completely innocent. I believe that he needs to be made whole. I believe that needs to happen. Well, I hope we see that, because we see the partisan ridiculousness that's involved in this. Walter says, and Holder was part of first law firm representing him, got a bad deal. Absolutely. Absolutely. The whole thing was rigged from the beginning. They absolutely said, yep, they said Flynn for FBI director. That's what I'm saying. Put him in charge and let him just get rid of all of them. Get rid of all of them. Time to clean house. Absolutely. So here's the thing, right? With the movement, and even if you're not part of that, even if you're just a regular American who listens to Donald Trump and says, yeah, the system's rigged, right? It's against regular people. Why are all these people still walking free? Why haven't people been put in cuffs, paraded in front of the cameras? FBI SWAT team was CNN right there, like they did Roger Stone. Why aren't we seeing high profile arrests yet? I can't even pretend to speak for President Trump, but I'm going to tell you this. We see with General Flynn, we see with the corrupt, so deeply entrenched. We have people at the highest levels of our criminal justice system, the highest levels of the judicial system, that are instructing our agents, hardworking men and women, to go and get people to lie, to catch them, to formulate it so that they can get them fired. That's what we have. So it's not so simple, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we have judges, right, that are out there right now that are overturning unconstitutional laws. And these are judges that Trump has put into place, and I'm glad to see that. But we also have many, many more that are upholding unconstitutional, ridiculous laws. Look at what happened in California, right, with the ammunition. So it was decided that there would be a background check in order to purchase ammunition. A lawsuit was filed saying, well, that violates the Second Amendment, but it also presents a hard, it makes it more difficult, right? Let's just say that. So that went in front of a judge. Judge said, yeah, you're right? We're going to stop that. That needs to go away. The judge above them said, oh, no, that's perfectly fine. Really? Yes, Walter, absolutely. The deep state's still in place. We need more judges in place in order for them to bring down the indictment. Yes, Paul, like the Ninth Circuit, he has done a great job at flipping it. He has replaced a record number of judges. What's the count now? Let's find out. How many judges has Trump replaced now? How many? Here, I'll show you. Let's share this. Boop. There we go. How many judges has Trump appointed? This was in 2019, November, has nominated and had confirmed 2 Supreme Court, 44 Circuit Court, and 112 District Court judges. That is nuts. This is from February, right? Right here, daily chart. Look at this. This is bench press, right? Judicial confirmations by president, 81 to 2020, right? So look at this. This is for appeals court, right? This is the normal record, depending on, the years in office. Look at Trump. That's the appeals court. Wow. On almost any measure, Donald Trump ranks himself among the most successful presidents in history. In one area, making appointments to America's federal court system, he may actually be right. In a little over 3 years, Mr. Trump has nominated and won Senate confirmation for 192 federal judges, including 137 district court judges, 51 appellate judges, and 2 Supreme Court justices. No president since at least Ronald Reagan has racked up judicial appointments so quickly. The closest was Clinton with 189 at this point in his presidency. See chart. By the end of the year, on current trends, a quarter of federal judges will be Mr. Trump's appointees. Holy cow, right? Holy cow. 1/4 of the federal judges will have been appointed by Donald Trump if it continues, right? According to this, McConnell deserves much of the credit. The Senate Majority Leader has made confirming the president's judicial nominees his top priority. His motto, leave no vacancy behind. He has not let Senate norms and institutions get in his way. To speed up the process, Republicans have scheduled confirmation hearings during Senate recesses and packed several hearings into a single day over objections from their Democratic colleagues. They have also done away with the blue slip policy, a century-old tradition giving senators the power to block judicial nominees from their home states. Mr. McConnell was not always in such a hurry. In 2016, his delaying tactics denied then Obama a chance to replace the late Antonin, how do you say his first name? Scalia on the Supreme Court, Justice Scalia. They ultimately paid it off when Mr. Trump won the presidency and appointed Neil Gorsuch to the seat. That's a lot of judges, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen. I know I say guys a lot. It's not meant to be effective. So the appeals court, right? Look at that. Oh, that makes it hard to see. District court, he is right on track, right? But appeals, wow. And I'm going to tell you, that's where the power is. That's what we need. We need these judges in place. We need them in place so that we can actually prosecute the people that are doing the things that they're doing, so that we can bring them to justice for destroying innocent lives, right? And General Flynn, he's just really the most visible of these people. He's the most well-known. Look, here's, General Flynn, his life was destroyed. But there are other people that their lives have been destroyed as well, right? We have George Papadopoulos, we have Roger Stone, we have many, Manafort, there are a bunch. And the crazy part about all of this stuff, right? The crazy part about the way that they've targeted certain people is that they have never prosecuted for any of this stuff before, right? None of these people, none of the charges that they used we've never heard of this before. Do we think that that's because nobody's ever done any of the things that the Trump administration has been accused of? Of course not. Of course not. We know better than that. It just doesn't make sense. Get a drink real quick and then I'll get right back to there we go. So what would you like to see from your representative, right? Would you like to see someone who stands up for truth, someone who says, no, this is ridiculous. You're destroying a good man. This has to be fixed. We have to change things. Or do you want someone who's just going to go with the status quo, who's going to be quiet, who's going to sit there and vote for the way the party tells them to vote? That's not who I want to represent me in the first district. I can tell you that. Anyone who knows me knows I will not remain silent on the things that I believe in. Criminal justice reform is one of the most critical issues to this country. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Thank you. Follows the Constitution. Yes. That's one of the things I think that are really, really lacking. One of the things that are really lacking in many of the representatives that we send, not just to Washington, but locally as well. I'm going to put this up there. So for those of you not familiar, Mayor McDermott, I almost other things, but I have to be nice. Mayor McDermott actually got on WJOB and said that he is looking forward to going to Washington, and he knows that Nancy Pelosi is going to love him, and he's her little soldier. It's mind-blowing. I do not want someone who's just going to fall in line. That's really what it comes down to. I want someone who has the ability and the conviction to stand up for their district, because that's the point. Our representatives aren't going to Washington, or shouldn't be going to Washington, to push their party's agenda, to sign off on whatever the party wants them to do. There are certain people running for this district on the left and the right who will fall in line, who will do what the party wants them to do. Now, I want to be very, very clear. I am not against the party at all. I am a Republican. I love the Republican Party, but it has been deeply corrupted in high places. We need people who are willing to get out there and vote for what is best for their district, right? Because that's what it's all about. Your responsibility is to your district first, right? Then your state, then your region, then your country, then allies, then the rest of the world, right? Do we want something? Do we want laws and things happening that are going to destroy the world for our children? Of course not. We need to be ecologically responsible. We need to understand that climate change is real. We know climate change is real. Nobody's denying that the climate is changing because it obviously is. But we need to be, oh, am I having an issue there? Paul said, where'd you go? Let's see here. There. Is that better? Did it fix for a second? So there's a Paul wants he wants someone who goes on vacation with less than a month of primary vote. Maybe I don't know. I'm not on vacation, just so you know. You're absolutely right, Dave. Dave says when you get to Washington, you'll see just how much doesn't make sense. But I have faith you'll make a difference. I do too. Look, I've been told that Spencer Lemons is my primary competition, right? I understand that. The man is a Marine. He's a police officer. Seems like a great guy. Personally, I think that we get along really well, hanging out, talking, laughing, enjoying things. I don't agree with all of his policies. And we as Republicans, we got together, at least most of us, and agreed that we've all had issues in our past. We've all made mistakes. Everyone in the world has. We're not going to attack each other on a personal level, but we are going to talk about policy. And policy is what it comes down to. We need someone who's pro-labor, because look, so much of the vote in Northwest Indiana is tied to organized labor. And I'm not talking about, look, I know that the leadership of the unions is not right friendly, conservative friendly. They give their endorsements to people who do not have the best interests at heart. Look at Biden, right? Biden in that factory tells her, I don't work for you. If you guys haven't seen that video, it highlights the attitude of these elitists who go to Washington, right? And okay, Ryan asks a good question. Where do you and Spencer differ? Okay, so I'm going to break it down for you. There are a few things that we actually differ on. Let me see if I can bring up the graphic. I've posted it before, but I'll just talk to you. So, right to work. Spencer, he says that he's pro-union, and I'm sure he is, except that he is in favor of right to work legislation. Now, right to work, unfortunately, the way that it's written currently, right, the intention was so that someone wasn't forced to join a union, right, as a condition of employment and other aspects. Here's the reality of it. It allows people to not pay union dues, but still be represented by the union, okay? The anticipation from the right was that it would lead to a lot more jobs coming. It hasn't really helped Northwest Indiana that much, in my opinion, but fair enough. I would like to see right to work legislation fixed. I think it's flawed. I don't think that you should have to join a union. And the thing is you don't anyway. That's been a law for a long time. But you shouldn't also be able to get out of paying union dues and then expect the union to protect you when things go wrong. That's number one. Number two is Spencer was asked by a gentleman who did a graphic where he stood on TPP, NAFTA, and USMCA, right? So he is not opposed to TPP and NAFTA, but supports USMCA. Now, I want to be very, very clear. I am wholeheartedly opposed to TPP. The Trans-Pacific Partnership would create so many problems for the United States, right? There's a reason that Trump put a stop to that. I highly recommend that you look into that. It is very, very concerning. Would give corporations immense power. It is not something that would be good for this nation. I am in favor of the USMCA. I think it was better than NAFTA. Was it perfect? No. I'd like to see it go further with protecting the United States, with making sure that certain things are built here in the United States. Mont Hanley, on the other hand, is in favor of completely free trade. I am in favor of trade. I am in favor of free trade to a degree. But I believe that our first responsibility, especially as legislators, is to protect our country, to protect our manufacturers, to protect our workers. I want to see Made in America be amazing again, right? To be the mark of quality that it used to be when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys are probably pretty much, around my age, those of you in this, but when we were kids, Made in the USA was something amazing, right? Now it's almost impossible to find Made in the USA stuff. I've released it before. There's lists that exist, right? But that's what I'd like to see. We have a situation where people are losing their jobs, right? Because of these dumping products. And this whole pandemic has just really brought that to a head. It's shown the flaws that exist in our network. It shows that we need to bring jobs home. We need to bring manufacturing home. We need to make things here in this country again. I don't think, unfortunately, that he understands how deeply disturbing TPP would be. That's really the majority of the difference in the right to work, the TPP. The fact that he's not opposed to it bothers me a lot. And look, I'm all for a young veteran going to Washington to represent us. I do. I'm all for that. But there are a couple other things that I want to address as far as, and again, I've made it clear before, I'll make it clear again. If Spencer wins the nomination, I will support him 100%. I will throw all of my energy into helping him. I will take everything I've learned from social media and doing these live streams and all of my skills that I feel are better in certain areas than him. My original ideas, I want to clarify that. I like Spencer, but originality doesn't seem to be a focus. And I will help him. I will 100% help him if he wins the nomination. But I just don't believe pull enough votes from the left, because the population if he wins the nomination, I could be wrong. I'd love to be wrong if that's the case, right? We need someone who's able to connect with the left. We need someone who's and healthcare is the other big. That's the next thing I was going to get to. Spencer believes in being able to buy insurance across state lines. Now, I have looked into that, and the numbers don't pan out. It sounds good on paper, but unfortunately, that's exactly why you can't buy auto insurance across state lines right now. Have any of you ever been involved in one from Illinois or Michigan, or while you were in Illinois or Michigan? I have. They have what's called no fault insurance, and basically their insurance company pays for the damage to their vehicle. Your company pays for the damage to your vehicle. There's no access of fault. There's no assignment of blame. Everybody pays for their own stuff. Now, that's fine for Illinois. That's what they have. Great. but it doesn't transfer over. Indiana has very different regulations when it comes to insurance. If you're going to buy health insurance from Illinois, it's going to have different regulations than we have in Indiana. It also allows these companies to ratchet up the rates or not cover people who have high risk careers like police officer, firefighter. On the other hand, I believe in price tag transparency, which Donald Trump has done a good job of putting into action. We need to do a lot more with that, I believe. We need to make everything transparent, upfront and transparent. The other thing is deductible security, right? If you look into the country of Singapore, they have actually used deductible security and price tag transparency effectively for years. It's worked out very, very well for them. They pay less per capita than the United States and many other countries that have universal healthcare, single payer healthcare. Now, the benefit to this, as far as I've been able to determine, and look, I'm going to tell you, I'm not an insurance guru. I don't know all of the ins and outs, but I do believe that we need someone who's willing to listen to the American people. And the American people have spoken. They want better insurance options. They want better healthcare. I personally don't think Medicare for all is the answer, but I do believe that we can achieve what these people want from Medicare for all with price tag transparency and deductible security. It will allow for the free market. It will allow people to make their own choices. And most importantly of all, I don't want to mandate anything. People should have the choice of whether or not they want to be included. If they can get a better deal from their job, if they love their current insurance, let them keep it, right? Those are the main differences between myself and Spencer. He's also young. He doesn't have as much life experience. I've been across the entire country, again, without not Alaska or Hawaii, but yeah. So Sarah, that's a good point. She said free market would get the insurance companies out of healthcare. There are ways that we can go about fixing what the problem is, right? But vast sweeping, especially mandatory changes like the Democrat candidates for president with their ideas for Medicare for all only punishes people, right? It first of all, mandating healthcare. Yeah. So thank you, Sarah. You're absolutely correct. When the insurance company is dictating what medicine my kid can take instead of his doctor, it isn't free market. Absolutely. Look, I have a child, multiple actually, with ADHD, medication, all that stuff. Going to get the medication, the insurance company goes, no, we're not going to pay for that. You have to try this first, right? Well, but the doctor said that this was the best medication for him. Well, yeah, we're more than happy to do that, but we unfortunately want you to try this first, right? You're more than welcome to go try that, but you'll have to pay for it. We won't subsidize it. We won't cover it, any of that stuff. So yeah, it's an issue. The way it's set up is not working. We have insurance companies making decisions for our healthcare rather than our doctors and patients. Doctor, patient, get together. And look, I have issues with the way that's set up as well with the doctors and the drug companies, push this, give them that. But one thing at a time, right? Price tag transparency, I think, is probably the single biggest leap forward that we can have. And not just for hospital visits, right? For everything. If we could have price tag transparency on every single procedure, every single visit, that alone is going to do a lot. But by itself, it's not enough, right? I don't believe that the numbers are going to pan out. I like Spencer a lot. He seems like a good guy, but I just don't think he can win if he gets the nomination. Will I support him? Will I help him if he beats me in the primary? Absolutely, absolutely. Who knows? Maybe I can help him with his Facebook and better lighting on his videos. I saw one at the nurse, and it was very, very dark. My lighting's not perfect, but you can see me. Hi. No, look, there are real changes that need to be made, and we need someone who's willing to make those changes. We need someone who's willing to stand up to the party, who can help the party, right? Which I've tried to do and have done on occasions. I'm there for them, despite them not being there for me. It'll be interesting to see post primary what happens, but you need to have someone that you can trust is going to work in your best interests, that is going to uphold our Constitution, that's going to keep government out of as many aspects of our lives as we can. I don't want more government. I want less. Paul says we need to cut down on tons of subsidies in healthcare. Look, subsidies in and of themselves are very, very flawed. Subsidies take what should be a free market issue and give people some very unfair advantages. It's like the governor, or in various states, not just here in Indiana, but across the nation, that have put these shelter in place orders and decide that Walmart is okay to stay open, but this little place can't. Mom and pop is getting crushed, even more so than happened before. Dave says every doctor in every hospital is not the same, but that's a whole story. And yes, I agree, Dave. There are many, many, many good doctors out there. There are many good hospitals out there. But we need something. We need to make some serious changes, because we have record profits from insurance companies, record profits from drug makers, and we, the people, are paying record amounts of money for them, to them. There's no one size fits all solution. There's no one big idea that's going to fix it all. But that's one of the things that I think I represent, is the ability to sit down with people who have good ideas and hear them out and put it on paper. Let's see what we can do with it. We can fix it. I truly believe that. I think that if we work as a united people with a common goal, it's amazing what we can get done. It really is. So big news coming up. We're going to have some special guests on the show. I did hear back from Rainwater, the guy running as the governor for Indiana, who, interestingly enough, right, has been gaining a lot of traction recently with his stance on liberty, right, in the wake of Holcomb's orders, right? So that should be interesting to see. Can he win? I don't know. He said that he's willing to come on the program. I guess he got swamped. So we'll see. So that should be pretty awesome. Also, special guest potentially coming up really soon. It's not confirmed yet, so I can't, spill it out of the bag, but got my fingers crossed. So appreciate it, everybody that came out, and see you tomorrow on Dion's Daily Dose. Give you the spiel here at the end. Don't forget, signs are going to be delivered either late this week or early next week. By Wednesday, I would like to be out delivering the last of the signs. I'm hoping they get them to me Friday. That's they said they're going to try for Friday. If not, then I'll be picking them up Monday and dropping them off, right, starting Monday. So if you have certain questions that you want answered, email me. And of course, if you have more money than you can spend, you can always go on my website, dionbergeron.com, click the donate button. If you don't have extra money, do not send me money. Look, if you have extra money and can afford to help me win this seat, I would appreciate it, truly. Pay your bills first. So, your mail donations. Appreciate it. Oh, federal prison. Yeah. And so Michael Strauss said you should get Bill Carroll on before he goes. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll skip that. I do have some other people though that will be coming on soon. So as always, thank you, Patriots, and talk soon. God bless you, and God bless the USA.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers, Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2020. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.